Hello, guys, and welcome to Odds on League and Matchday 31. Alain Valnegri, and we have a key game for the title race. PSG Lens on Saturday. How are you, Alain?
Hello, how are you? Fine. Yes, we have one of the game can be give the keys about the end of the season. If Lens can beat Paris Saint-Germain, the end of the season will be thrilling. If Paris Saint-Germain win this game, maybe the end of the season will be different.
Well, let's see what happens in the Parc des Princes. Remember, of course, to leave the comments. Tell us what you think about that game on Saturday. And, of course, don't forget, press the like and subscribe. So, on Friday, we start with a game, Toulouse. Lille in great form, actually. Lyon beating Rennes and PSG in the last two home games, but they lost in the Coupe de France against Nantes for Lyon. Now they have to go to Toulouse, a team that won also in the Coupe de France in this tournament, and also beat Montpellier that we didn't expect for Toulouse. I guess the focus is in the Coupe de France. Alain, at home, they lost the last three home games, a team that we were saying this season that they were especially strong when they were playing at home.
Yes, but it's true a way that they improved the average of point. You can say to me it was not so difficult because it was one of the poorest team when they played away. Now Toulouse live a dream. They go back to a final in Coupe de France after more than 60 years. Wow. And now their Ligue can be a training to the final. And Lyon is not now for Lyon. The season is difficult to pretend to enter in Europe, not for the distance of the point, but for the streak about the team. Lyon are 5 points far to the European spots, but Lille is in a very, very good form, and I don't see Lyon in 8th game recover 8 points to the club of north of France. For that, for this game, I think Lyon is a little sad right now because the key game was the last week in the semi-final against Nantes. I see Toulouse back to the victory. I choose Toulouse winning X, but draw no bet. Odds are so interesting, 2.1.
Okay, surprise indeed, actually. So sad that Lyon didn't get to the final for Lyon. It's been a very tough and bad season for them. We have a big surprise again in Coupe de France. We have Nantes, Toulouse, Nantes, back-to-back finals for the team in Bretagne. Who knows? They beat Nice in last year, so perhaps they can revalidate the title in the Coupe de France. Always very interesting, that competition, by the way. And on Saturday, two huge games. First one is Reims with Rennes 6th and risking the European spots. They lost to Lyon and Lens after the victory in Paris. And Reims, Alain, also a bit of a surprise with that draw against Brest. When they played away, the last two games were tough ones against Nantes and Monaco, and they got the 3 points.
Yes, the game is between one of the biggest surprise in Ligue 1, like Stade de Reims, against one of the biggest deception about this Ligue 1. Rennes, after the World Cup, Rennes is in a really bad moment. The average of points are really poor for the squad. In Europe, they go out against Shakhtar in a game where normally they must to pass the round, and the last weeks we are back to see the Rennes without the aggressivity, with a problem to concrete the team, what the team create, and against Reims it can be difficult to catch points if you doesn't score against Reims. Reims score in every game. Reims can be score, especially they feel really comfortable against a team with the model of play of Stade Rennais. The team of 𝐬𝐭𝐚𝐲 must to have a reaction, because right now, remember, Edu, before the World Cup, it was a Champions League spot team. Right now, they're be out about the Conference League, and now for that, these last 8 games, they must to start to catch points, and Saturday is a good opportunity, especially against a very good Stade de Reims. And warning, if Reims won in Rennes, Reims will be at the same with the same point about Stade Rennais. I choose both teams to score because it's difficult to predict the game, especially for this problem to have continuity with the Stade Rennais. Both teams to score for the game with the odds 1.81.
And probably, Alain, the problem is the home form for Rennes. They are still the third best team in Ligue 1 with 4 defeats, but they lost 3 out of the last 4 games at home against big teams like Lens, Marseille or Lille. But the problem, of course, is there. They were winning every single game this season, playing at home, especially.
No, at home, it's clear. It's clear against the biggest team, yes. But in my opinion, Reims is not a Champions League team, and they must to catch a point next Saturday.
Well, and the key game of the season is PSG Lens. I know that we said this 3 weeks ago when we watched Olympique Marseille PSG, and PSG won that game. But now the second in the standings is Lens, 6 points away from PSG. So if Lens win, there will be a fight for the championship. We have Lens in a very good moment, Alain. 4 consecutive victories, and PSG, they bounce back against Nice. Did you like them when they beat Nice away with Messi and Sergio Ramos scoring?
Well, really concrete, and in a game where they doesn't receive goal, and that one is a news, because it was since end of February the team have a clean sheet in a game. It was in Marseille in the Classique, and since that time there doesn't have a clean sheet. Now PSG in the last years they suffered a lot loss. Only 1 victory in the last 5 games at home and away. This season in Lens they suffer a lot. They suffer a lot. Not only in the results, in the context of the game, in the individual duel, in the second ball, the skills where Lens is, in my opinion, this season, the best team. And now Lens is in a very good moment. My question from the beginning of the season is to know how Lens feel the physical condition, and the team are really well. It's true they suffered a little against Strasbourg, but I think the team are be able to catch point in Paris. I think Lens doesn't will lose in Paris. I choose double opportunity, X2 odds 2.27.
Well, another surprise, and you've been catching a lot of surprises with PSG lately when they are dropping points. Lens to win, if someone wants to be audacious, let's say, and bet on Lens to win, is 4.9 with the best bookie, in case you want to trust the away team in this game. And then we have all the games on Sunday. Lille Montpellier is the first one, with Lille in the conference spot that you mentioned before, but with a huge surprise. In the previous game, they lost to Angers. No one could saw that defeat. Only 2 victories in the last 5 Ligue 1 games, Alain, for Lille.
Yes, but only one defeat, and that one they catch a draw in against Lyon, and they catch a draw in the derby de North against Lens. Right now, Lille, the last game in Angers. Angers, I am really scared with Angers at the since 2 games. The team improve, and maybe they'll give me reason, because I said you Angers have more game or more play than
Points,
point.
yeah.
And now maybe the team feel more free, and the team start to catch point against Nice and against Lille, 2 teams from the highest part of the table. Now Montpellier are improved a lot. 𝐬𝐭𝐴𝐧𝐧𝐞𝐭𝐤 came in the bench. They lose against Toulouse the last game. Maybe Montpellier can be so much relaxed, because right now they're in a very good position to save the category. In change, Lille need to win this game, yes to try to catch a European spot. I choose Lille clean sheet in the game, odds 2.50. Montpellier doesn't have a really good average of goals scored away. 𝐬𝐭𝐴𝐧𝐧𝐞𝐭𝐤 came in the bench, and I choose that odds is a risk, but every week I choose odds risky, 1 or 2.
Well, you see the glass half full, no? For Lille, I was saying the stats in a negative way, half empty. This is, of course, depends on how you want to see life. And I agree with you, Alain. It's better to see the glass always half full.
Yeah.
Perhaps both teams, the next 2 teams, they can have options to see the glass half full or half empty. Actually, Auxerre, Nantes, this is very important for the relegation. For sure, Auxerre, they should be optimistic, because they beat Ajaccio and Troyes back-to-back. They are alive. They are away from relegation, and they were in the bottom 4 for a lot time this season. Only 1 defeat in the last 9 games, but Alain, for Nantes, this is a funny situation, no? Only 5 points away from relegation, so they are in the battle. They got a point against Monaco. This is positive, and they are again in the final of the Coupe de France, but no victories in the last 7 games in Ligue 1.
Yes, it's really strange, the season of Nantes. They paid a lot the fact they play in Europe and in Coupe de France. I don't have the exactly statistic about the average of point when not play 2 games in a week, but it's really poor. It's really poor because during the first stage of the competition, when they have a European game, they have a lot of difficulties in Ligue 1. When Europa League stopped, North improved. They made a brilliant January month with 7 clean sheets in 9 games, and their scale that be win position in the table. But since Coupe de France came and Europa League with the double game against the Juventus, the team lose a lot of points after their play during the week. Auxerre, the magician Pellissier, is really need to make another miracle, because he saved Amiens, he saved Lorient with the poorest budget in the Ligue 1. And in Auxerre, now we can feel his hand, his model of play. You see the statistical before Pellissier and now with Pellissier is totally different, especially with the goal conceded. Is a game between 2 of the poorest attack in Ligue 1. Both teams need point. Both teams can be accepted to catch 1 point, and I choose an X, a draw for this game, odds 3.15.
Well, and another team involved in the relegation battle and getting points lately is Brest. We have Brest Nice drew against Reims, beat Toulouse. That's why they are out of the relegation spots. Also, only one defeat in the last 5 games and was against PSG. On the other hand, Alain, we have Nice far from European spots. No victories in the last 5.
Yes, but Nice is with Didier in the bench, the team start to have an average of point for the squad with a good results, especially with the model of play. Favre doesn't found the model of play with the quality, with the skills about the squad. And Didier came, and Didier lose against Paris Saint-Germain in the last journey, but since the beginning of January is brilliant. The average of point of Nice for this game. We have one fact can have a big influence. Nice played against Basel in Conference League, and that one, especially against a team in a very good moment. I think Brest improved since Roy came in the bench. Nice suffer when they must to make the game, when they must to elaborate in offensive phase, and Brest is this team with the skill. I am really surprised about the odds because I don't see this difference, especially in the motivation part, and for the fact Nice will be played Thursday against Basel in Conference League. I choose the double opportunities for this game because the odds are so inviting. 1.74 for Brest doesn't lose against this Sunday.
Okay, if Nice want a new manager, again, for instance, Rudy Garcia is free. He's been sacked by Al Nasser in Saudi Arabia, so...
Yeah, but I think in French, Rudy Garcia is a little burned because after the last experience in
Lille, no?
in Lyon, it doesn't have a really good reputation for a lot of facts. But I will be said that maybe in the next show, not yet today, because it's really long, the list about the bad fact of Rudy Garcia.
Okay, we will talk about him in the next show. Next game, Alain, Clermont, Angers, third victory of the season for Angers, as you mentioned. Perhaps now they are getting points even if they are in Ligue 2. And do you think Clermont could be a place where Angers catch points?
Clermont catch more points away than at home. From the beginning of the season, of the year, better. They win only in the first game against Rennes and in the last game against Ajaccio. Since that, 5 games without victory. Now Angers, I think Angers, it depends a lot of the motivation. Against team who think they will be win the game easy, this type of team will be lose point against Angers. Clermont, I think they need and they want to have and catch point at home. The odds are so interesting for Clermont, and we must to try to choose the victory because between the difference between both teams are really clear. I choose Clermont winning 1.87.
Completely safe, of course, Clermont with 40 points. And the scary game of the weekend is Strasbourg Ajaccio Strasbourg in relegation spots, lost to Lens and Monaco. Difficult games, of course, that they had away. But at home, we've been seeing that they've improved in 𝐿𝐴, Alain, 3 victories out of the last 4 games. And Ajaccio, they are completely doomed. They are going to Ligue there. They lost the last 5 games in Ligue, and the price for Strasbourg to win is not that high, no, 1.8, but difficult not to see a home victory here.
The mood for Ajaccio is not good. Is not good. I think the team give some signal about the resign this moment, especially in the last game. Because in the last game against Auxerre at home, you must to have another type of motivation, and I don't feel that when I see this game. Now Strasbourg at home is really strong. We know Strasbourg at home. I think there will be follow the positive streak in 𝐿𝐴. Strasbourg winning odds 1.76.
Monaco-Lorient is our next game, with Monaco 3 points away from the Champions League spot. They dropped 2 points in Toulouse because they were leading 2-0 away, and at home is a team not very reliable. Alain, they lost recently against Stade Reims and Nice. What do you think about this game with Lorient?
Monaco, I think Monaco back in a good streak now. And Monaco will be fight until the end of the season for a Champions League spot. This one pass to catch points against a Lorient, who has a team with a lot of problem to catch point since January. Very good result against Marseille in last journey, but in Monaco, against this Monaco, I don't see Lorient catch point, and I choose no both team to score 2.10.
It's tricky, actually, the third spot in the Champions League for French teams. At least in the last 2 seasons that I remember, they lost the playoff. Monaco, for instance, to qualify for the Champions League. They have 3 points. They are 3 points away from Marseille, and the last game is Marseille 3, with 3 as well going directly to Ligue 2, 7 points away from salvation. 13 winless games. Every week we are adding 1 more game, of course, to the winless streak of 3, whereas Marseille, Alain, they got the draw against Lorient and Montpellier as well in the last 2 games. A lot of problems at the Velodrome. We always say this.
The last victory in Velodrome for Marseille in Ligue 1, it was the 14th January.
Terrible.
3 months in the history of Olympique Marseille. I don't remember 3 months without a victory in Ligue 1. They win against Paris Saint-Germain, they win against Stade Rennais, but it was in Coupe de France. Now there must to improve right now is a good opportunity, because Troyes is one of the poorest defense in the Ligue 1. They lose the 8 last game away. If Marseille doesn't win this game, I think Marseille will be go in Champions, because when do you start to lose that type of game, is impossible to pretend to be in next Ligue 1. I catch a really interesting odds, and I think is a good opportunity, is Marseille over 1.5 goals in the game, odds 2.10.
All right, Alain Valnegri, 31 match days already analyzing with you. Ligue 1, very interesting this season. Next one, we are going to have 2 less teams, 1 game less per week, and probably Troyes won't be here. But in the meantime, let's see, which one is your favorite bet?
Toulouse-Lyon over 1.75 goals, odds 1.22.
At least 2 goals in that game. And Yoraka?
Clermont winning, Strasbourg winning, Monaco over 1.5 goals in the game, and Marseille scored over 1.5 goals for a total 7.94.
Okay, thank you, Alain Valnegri. Thanks everyone for watching. Don't forget, press the like, subscribe, and of course, see you next week. Au revoir.
Ciao.